Hello and welcome to another Dragon Storm Studios video, where we're going to be talking today about a new series which I'm starting up, which is a series of portraits of actors cast as if they were in a Magic the Gathering movie or streaming service. So the background behind this was that I really wanted to do the characters from Magic the Gathering, and I wanted to find out a way to make them work as if they were actually actors in one of these roles, and who would fit best in some of these roles. So while I'm talking about this new idea I have, I'm just going to be working a little bit on the foliage here. And just to get you some background, if I was to draw every leaf in the foliage here in the background behind our main character here, Teferi, I would be here till Christmas, which I don't want to be. So I'm just going to kind of use the side of my pencil and always facing away from the foliage. So these are facing outward. I'm just going to create a series of kind of V shapes. Most of them are upside down. And they're going to follow the edge so that the edge becomes imperfect. And then I'm just going to do layer upon layer of other V shapes which overlap. And although tedious, if you have music to listen to or you're talking in the middle of a YouTube video, it makes it a lot easier to get through. So in case you couldn't tell, I hope you could, this is Idris Elba. And he is an actor I know best from Pacific Rim. And he did an amazing job as the commander, I think he was a major or colonel or something, in that movie. And he had the great voice and a wonderful presence, and just did an amazing job in that movie. And I've seen him in several things since then. And when I think of Teferi, who is a planeswalker from Magic the Gathering, and that's what he's portrayed as here, I think of Idris Elba. So I decided to draw him. Now, it occurs to me recently that I don't know a lot of younger actors, and most of the characters in the Magic the Gathering lore, and the game's been around for 27 years now, since 1993, it occurs to me that I don't know a lot of the actors who could play some of those roles. Many of the actors, unfortunately, that I know are older, and some have passed away recently. And it was the recent passing of Sir Sean Connery, which really kind of hit home that a lot of the people I looked up to are no longer working in Hollywood, but B, they've gotten to the point where they're not able to play many of the characters from Magic the Gathering. Most of those characters tend to be in their, I think, 20s or 30s, I suppose, and in some cases younger and in some cases older. So I'm looking in this video to hear from you and to hear what sorts of fan casting you would create for the characters in Magic the Gathering. They could be planeswalkers. And for those who don't know, planeswalkers are magical beings who are able to travel across the multiverse to various planes of existence. Places like Kaladesh, Amonkhet, Zendikar, where we are right now in the story in November 2020. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in terms of who you'd like to see drawn, but also who you'd cast in the role. Because although I've got a couple of ideas, I can do a couple more of these videos. For example, I'm going to do Gideon next. I would love to hear from you as to who you would like to see cast in some of these roles. And then that way I've got a bit of canon fodder to work with, but also it's a bit more current because I am old. What I'm doing right now in the drawings, I'm just darkening areas, and it's very random. And wherever my light source is, and it's going to be coming from above, it's going to be darker away from that light source and layer towards it. But this represents the shadows where some leaves in the foliage are overlapping others. And that really gives it some depth, but also some variety, which is nice too. We like lots of light and dark contrast in our work, as you've seen, for example, in the Alien video and various others that I've done. And suddenly, all of those little V shapes, which did take a fair amount of time to do, but not as much as drawing each individual one, kind of resemble the foliage you'd see in the background. Certainly not something which is the focus of the drawing, but here we have Teferi in his some sort of workshop where he's got an astrolabe and ornithopter, and in the background you've got just some foliage sticking out, which does a good job of looking realistic because of the technique we've just gone over. So give it a try. You might not get it right the first time, and that's okay. It does take some confidence, and also the randomness is actually very hard for some people. Just doing that. But I find that doing something while you're working on it really helps with that. And we've got our very first of the new series, which I'm creating. I hope you enjoyed watching that happen and hearing about the series. Please comment below if you have an idea of someone you'd like to see, and I'll kind of take them just first come, first serve. I'll be glad to draw some of those people in those roles. And if someone else has picked one that you like, feel free to give me an alternate suggestion. So if we have 2 or 3 different versions of Chandra in the end, that's totally fine too. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like I said, share the video if you think people would enjoy it or have other suggestions, and have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.